This is a really challenging situation because I think in Elon's mind, he met with the Saudis. They offered him to take the company private, and they built a 5% multi-billion-dollar position, and that to him meant that they were committed, and he took them at their word. This is me guessing, based on the information we have, and I think it's not unreasonable. And so he probably feels like this is a very reasonable position, and if you went to 10 different sovereign wealth funds and Masayoshi-san with the Vision Fund, or Norway, Apple, Google, anybody with over $10, $20 billion in cash sitting there, they would all want to take Tesla private. So I think he felt like he did it the right way. But I understand the SEC's position, which is this could have been done more buttoned up. There should have been an exact written document, a deal memo, et cetera. And obviously the board was caught off guard according to the reports. So the SEC is in a horrible position here because they don't want to destroy Tesla. They don't want to take out America's greatest CEO active right now since Steve Jobs. And this is an important company in terms of the stakeholders, from the customers to the people who work at the company. So great reporting by David today that there was what seems like a reasonable settlement there. So Elon is principled. The SEC wants to rein things in and have things buttoned up. My guess is that they're probably talking right now, and they'll probably continue to talk, and they'll settle this because they have to. You can't take America's greatest CEO out of the game. And America's greatest CEO has to think for a second,
Jason,
what's in the best interest of all stakeholders? And his intent does matter greatly.
Jason, but even if you believe exactly what you just said, the conundrum becomes now that Elon Musk was the one that didn't accept the settlement. If you're the SEC, you can't back down from where you are today, meaning the settlement is going to be no better than what was on the table yesterday. In fact, it almost inherently has to be worse.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think both parties have so much at stake here that you can't let this go on forever. And the great paradox and irony here, you pick whichever term you like better, is that if the funding secure tweet did any damage, which it doesn't seem to have done any damage, the SEC actions are causing more damage, and paradoxically, the stock goes down another 10, 20%. It's going to go private. I mean, that's the likely scenario.
Jason, I think that funding secured argument, I mean, it certainly was seen to damage the shorts. And David Faber, it seems like Elon Musk is putting himself and Tesla in a position where he's not willing to admit having done anything wrong or appearing to have done anything wrong. This settlement, a lot of people think it looks like it would have been a slap in the wrist.
Well, no, listen, as Andrew and I both have been reporting, the main reason that he opposed the settlement has to do with him, not with necessarily the company. I think that's an interesting distinction, an important one, because he does not want to be in a position where he would not be able to deny these charges. Great. He wants to stand up for what he believes is his integrity and the fact that he believes he acted appropriately at all times. But as a shareholder, to sit there and think, well, chairman, he can't be chairman for 2 years, so we get a new chairman and 2 new independent directors, and he and the company pay a fine that was not going to be that large. Why you wouldn't take that deal, I think many people are wondering. And Jason, I come back to you. I mean, I'm glad we have somebody who's very positive on, because we've had a lot of negative or people who perhaps are seeing this realistically, more so than you are. But nonetheless, why wouldn't you be angry at him for not taking that deal?
He should take the deal. I mean, I think he has to take the deal. And I think he's very principled, and he's probably under a lot of stress. If you look at the fundamentals of the company, they produce 300,000 or 400,000 cars to date. And even if they're only doing 3,000 or 4,000 cars a week right now, that means they're adding 1% every week to the number of Teslas on the road. I think arguably they were turning things around, and he was ignoring the shorts and focusing on the product and the customers and innovation, which is when Elon shines. Right. So this has to be settled, and I think you can be 100% certain that Team Elon and the people around him are advising him to, settle this and get focused on what matters, Andrew, which is if you want to burn the shorts, the way to burn the shorts is produce more cars.